Hey guys, this is PokeDad again. I wanted to showcase another deck for you. Um, I have to admit that this is not my original idea. I kind of took the idea from Donald at Integral Gaming, and I want to just give him props for this. He uses this deck for a Mega Rayquaza, and I liked it so much. I liked the idea behind it but I wanted to change it from Mega Rayquaza to Mega Gardevoir. And as you can see, it doesn't have a lot of cards in it. Um, he's specifically getting his decks ready for standard, because when September hits, standard format will change, and all your plasma cards and anything that's before XY base set uh, will be no longer used in standard format. So he uses just um, trainers and Pokemon just from XY on. But anyway, so let's just get into the deck a little bit, and I'll kind of explain it as we go. I have a few cards that, for whatever reason, Pokemon on TCG Online, just the cards aren't loading. And I've noticed this with other PokeTubers, how it's affecting some of their videos also. But we'll just try to power through that and see what we can do. All right, so our main attacker is Mega Gardevoir, but before you get to Mega Gardevoir, we got to start with Gardevoir EX. And ideally, with this deck, we want to try to get to Mega Gardevoir on turn 2. Now, unlike Mega Rayquaza, you can get Mega Evolved in turn 1, Mega Gardevoir we got to wait till turn 2. But it's no big deal because we can't get the Togekiss, which I'll explain in a minute, out till turn 2 anyway. But Gardevoir EX has Life Leap, which does 20, and then you heal 20, the same amount of damage you do, which if you hit for 20, you get 20 back. Now, of course, if you run into resistance or something, you might get 0, or if you run into weakness, especially with dragons out there now, you could actually hit for 40, and if you had a muscle band on, you could hit for more, and then you could also heal for more. So, but we're not really looking at that. Shining Wind is also an option if for some reason you don't get Mega Gardevoir out. It can still hit for 100, and it is with this deck, it's very possible to have 3 energies by turn 2, and I'll explain that a little bit more in a moment. But the main attacker here is Mega Gardevoir EX. Brilliant Arrow does 30 times the number of fairy energy in play on your side of the board. Now, I've heard some people say it's on both sides, but it's just to all the Pokemon that you have on your side of the board. But you notice if you can get 6 energies in play, you can one-shot EXs. If you get 7 or 8 into play, you can one-shot Megas. And realistically, I have been able to, with this deck, turn 2, have 7 energies in play. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but a good amount of times you can have 7 energies. You're hitting for 210. Alright, so this is our main attacker. Now, and that's pretty much it. Now, if we run into a safeguard Pokemon, we have to go to Togekiss, but I'll discuss that momentarily. And actually, let's just move into Togekiss. So we've got a 4-4-4 line of Togetic, Togepi, Togetic, and Togekiss. And Togekiss has Serene Grace, which is what we're really wanting to power up our Pokemon very fast with energy. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may look at the top 8 cards of your deck, choose any basic energies you find, and then attach them to your Pokemon in any way you want. So the idea here is if we can get 2 Togekiss out, which is very reasonable with this deck, by turn 2, on average you're going to pull about 2 energies. So you'll have 4 energies in play, plus if you have 2 energy drops, now you have 6 energies in play. And sometimes you get lucky and you can even get more than 2 per. sometimes you get less. So there is an amount of luck to this deck, but it's really fun to play. So the idea behind here is Togekiss. We want to get as many of them out and put our energy into play as quickly as possible. Now Togekiss does have Fairy Wind, which can hit for 60, so you can two-shot Sigilif or a Suicune if you need to. If you run into Safeguard, though, that's going to be what you have to. And it's okay to power one of them up, because Mega Gardevoir's attack is based on whether or not or on whether how much energy you have in play. So if Togekiss has 3 on him, that's fine. You can still use Mega Gardevoir and get the full benefit of having the 3 on Togekiss. Also, one other thing to keep in mind, the retreat cost is only 1. We don't play Fairy Garden, and I'll explain that right now, actually. What we do play is we play the Sky Field. Alright, and I've actually heard this called the Skyfield engine, and it uses Skyfield and Shaymin. Okay, just to remind you though, when you have Skyfield, each player can have up to 8 Pokemon on his bench. And so what this does is this allows us to play Shaymin after Shaymin, still have plenty of room on our bench to continue to have more and more card draw. And so this since we're not playing Fairy Garden, we don't have free retreat, so sometimes we have to retreat manually, but we also play a couple switches just in case. So the Skyfield leads us to Shaymin, and if you don't know, this card is very hard to get both online and in the real world. It's, I think it's going for like $25–$30 depending on if you want the full art or the regular. And I play 4 of these, and the idea is we gonna empty our hand out, play another one, play one down, get 6 more cards, empty those out, play another one down, and just keep doing that. So by the end of turn 1, you could have 2 Gardevoirs with Spirit Links on them, and 3 Togepi's down, potentially. And then by turn 2, you have the Mega Gardevoirs, at least one set up, a couple energy in play, and then you evolve to the Togekiss. One thing I forgot about the Togekiss is it does have the Delta evolution, so we can have Togepi on turn 1, then turn 2 we can evolve Togetic and Togekiss. So in one turn we can go from Togepi to Togekiss just like that. And that's why this Ring Grace is very quick, because by turn 2 we can have energy coming out very quickly. Alright, we play Mega Turbo because we have a Mega, and it just actually helps us because we have Ultra Balls that we're playing. Sometimes we have to discard stuff. And ideally we want to discard energy so we can put the Mega Turbo back on Mega Gardevoir, turbo that energy back on Mega Gardevoir, and then that gives us another 30 damage that we hit for. So we play 2 of those Mega Turbos, and again I apologize but the image isn't coming in, but basically you can attach a basic energy from your discard pile to one of your Mega Evolution Pokemon, in this case, Mega Gardevoir. I already mentioned to you we play 2 switches, so that allows us to move. If Mega Gardevoir gets hurt, we can retreat into another one, or if we need to retreat, if we have a Togepi start, we need to switch into Mega Gardevoir, that's available. Mentioned already, we play 4 Ultra Balls. This is mostly to get out Shaymins, but it also can help us get out. We may already have a Shaymin in hand, and so we will need to get a Mega Gardevoir or a Togekiss. So this is just helps us with consistency. If you think about it though, with Shaymin now in the game, Ultra Ball actually becomes a Bianca. Bianca was a supporter card that allows you to draw up to 6, which is the same ability that Shaymin has, And so now every Ultra Ball becomes a Bianca. And not only that, with Shaymin you can play as many Biancas as you want per turn, or not as many as you want, but up to 4 you could do right off the bat. Okay, as far as our support line now, this is, people are going to look at me and this is they're going to say it's totally strange, and I agree with you. We play 2 Lysander, okay? That's just for the end game. We can grab something we need and knock it out and finish the game off. We'll play 3 Professor Birch's Observations, and this one is the one where you can shuffle your hand into your deck, flip a coin. If heads, you draw 7. If tails, draw 4. And then we play Shauna. Alright, and this one allows you to shuffle your hand into your deck and then draw 5. Now what you'll notice is we don't have Colress, we don't have N, we don't have Skyla, we don't have Sycamore or Juniper. And I did this on purpose, and in my testing I found that these actually allow for better consistency. Well, first of all, I'm kind of Donald over at Dark Integral Gaming. He doesn't play anything from that's before XY, and I was kind of thinking, you know, the season's coming to an end, and I need to go ahead and start building my decks with that in mind. So Colress is going to be gone, even though Skyfield is here. It would be wonderful to play Colress, but he's going to be gone. Skyla will be gone, N will be gone, so that leaves us with Sycamore, Birch, and Shauna. Now the reason why I don't play Sycamore though is because we actually want to try to recycle all of our cards back into our hand. The only thing we want to be discarding is the whatever we use the Ultra Balls for, and that's typically energy, even though you can discard something else if you need to, maybe a Mega Turbo or Switch. So these 2 cards though allow you to recycle the cards back into your hand. You know, we don't want to lose the Lysander. If we had to, we could, but we want to try to keep those into the deck until we're ready to draw into them. So Shauna and Birch allow us to do that. The other advantage to Shauna and Birch is that they have actually lower draw than Sycamore. And you're thinking to yourself, well, isn't lower draw bad? Not in this case, because if we only draw 5 and we get an Ultra Ball out of that 5, then we can get Shaymin, and if you use an Ultra Ball, you're going to use 3 cards, so then Shaymin will actually allow you to draw 4 more. And if you can use the other 2 cards before you play the Shaymin, you'll be able to draw 6 more. So in some cases, the lower hands can actually help. Now if you get a heads on Birch, then you're going to get 7 cards. That's great. If you get tails, you get a 4, and again you might draw into a Shaymin or an Ultra Ball, and then you're back up to 6 anyway. Alright, I'm kind of running low on time, and I am going to have some battles for you on this, but let me just finish up the last few things. We play 3 Spirit Links because we got 3 Mega Gardevoirs. You're probably only going to get 2 out, and we play 4 Gardevoirs, but only 3 Mega Gardevoirs, and that's just to help us get the Gardevoir out. We want to try to get 1 to 2, preferably 2 out on turn 1, so that we can at least have 1 Mega Gardevoir by turn 2. So we play 3 Spirit Links. We play 14 Energy, and that's a high count even for a fairy deck, but it's needed because Togekiss, you're going to live or die by Togekiss. The thing is, this deck is either going to set up really fast for you, and you're going to take an early advantage over your opponent, or it's not. And so we want to give Togekiss the best chance to set up, get us as much energy as possible on turn 2. So we play the 14 energies, and it eats up, that's almost a fourth of our deck, but in the long run it's very good. And I know, again, this doesn't look like there's a whole lot in this deck. It's very straightforward, but that's how it plays, and it plays pretty well. Anyway guys, I hope you liked the video. Please comment and subscribe, and I'll have some battles for you in an upcoming video. Talk to you later. Bye.